G'day. What an exciting weekend that was. That was up, down, left, right, side to side, all over the place. Just amazing. But first, we've got to talk about Formula 2. Of course, we've had to mention the elephant in the room. HWA finally capable of scoring points. Although they got very lucky, they're finally in a point scoring position. Of course, you'd have expected this from the start of the year. I mean, John Lazy sold his Ferrari F40 to get his son in his seat, and the HWA is god awful. If I was him, I'd be wanting a refund because, well, a Ferrari F40 is like $2 million, and he spent a lot on the HWAC, but yeah, all complaints about HWA's form aside, race 1, absolute chaos, safety car, very good race. I mean, standout performance from Nikita Mazepin and Artem Markelov. Those are the two drivers that really stood out to me. And then race 2, we saw the pace of the HWA were expecting a good race, but they got an atrocious race. So now for the Formula 3s. That was a title decider of title decider. If this was in F1, it would be remembered for the rest of F1's history. Coming into this weekend, Oscar Piastri was on the back foot. Very back foot. Logan Sargent had a better starting position, 12 points behind. Theo Polcher could have overtaken him, and during the race, Logan Sargent got 6th. Oscar Piastri wasn't able to get into the points. That meant they were tied on points. Logan Sargent was ahead of Oscar Piastri, but Theo Polcher had an outside chance. If he got a podium and Logan Sargent and Oscar Piastri didn't score points, then he would win the title. So he was the least likely to score points. And it was all but assured that Logan Sargent would win the title. But boy, was we wrong. Coming into the race, I was like, I reckon Logan Sargent will screw up. He'll get in a collision on lap 1 and be out of the race. And I was correct. My prediction came true. I am the best at predictions. But I was also predicting that Theo Polcher had a shot at the title, that he would be able to drive through the field, and that maybe Oscar Piastri and Logan Sargent, if Logan Sargent didn't get taken out in the final line and dropped as he tends to do on certain occasions, and was battling with Oscar Piastri, they could collide, but that did not come to fruition. But what did come to fruition was that Oscar Piastri was on the back foot coming into the final, coming into the race. In fact, if anyone was going to win, it looked like it was Theo Polcher's title. Piastri being held up behind Vesti and cars catching him. I mean, there was a time when it looked like Oscar Piastri was losing pace and would be overtaken by Jack Doohan, who hasn't got a point all season. He's gone pointless this season. I feel bad for the guy, but I reckon he'll possibly be in F3 next year. But then again, he may not be in F3. I mean, if I had to attribute his form, I'd say he's probably getting advice from his father, who was a motorbike rider. And yeah, motorbikes and F1 cars. Well, in the 60s/50s, a driver could, like John Surtees, could win on 4 and 2 wheels, which was an impressive thing. I don't think that's the case today. So yeah, I don't think he's getting. I think his father does would give him good advice, but I don't think it's the best advice. So that's me explaining why Jack Doohan, who on paper should be capable of getting good points, has not performed. So and I could do with this. And that's just one case of drivers gone pointless this season. I could also talk about Igor Fraga. Didn't race this weekend. He was going to go to a team, but the team he was racing for blocked that decision, and it's not like he raced with them, so 2 cars did not race, so that was unfortunate. But congratulations to Oscar Piastri. You saw my reaction, and I'm not going to put this in this video, so check out the reaction in the video I uploaded when he won the title, and that is all.